Hi, Groovy Peeps. It's Dr. B from Restorative Tutors, where we work with families and students and even individuals on their understanding of their academic success, their goals in life, just understanding where all that comes from. So I'm coming on today because I was in a fifth grade class today teaching, and it was really interesting because of course they were a little crazy wired because of candy from Halloween, but this was a whole nother level. They were not able to sit still, very, very anxious, lots of sensitive emotions, can't stop talking, touching other people, just like acting like they were in first or second grade, not fifth grade. And constantly talking. And usually this is no problem for me. I can like figure it out, but it was just all the time. It was exhausting. It was a constant barrage of always having to say to somebody, be quiet. And then at lunch, I guess when I got there to pick them up, the lights were off, and the adults were like, these kids are off the chart, off the chain. They can't handle them. I don't know what's going on. So I made them line up, and they weren't doing what I asked. So I kept saying, okay, we'll stand here until you do it right. I know you know how to do this. Let's go. And we stood there, and I said, let's do it again. Let's go. And so I just made them get into the place where this kerfuffling that we are doing today is stopping now. So when we got back into the classroom, I immediately said, everybody sit down in a circle. We need to go, what's going on? Tell me what is happening, because I've never seen anything like this. You guys are like all over the place, and it's just, you keep setting each other off, and emotions are running high, and nobody can sit still. So what is going on? And they told me that, you know, things are happening, and they're not getting any input, and they feel like they don't get a say in what they want to have doing, what's going on, and you know, they don't like subs. And here's what I understand, because I've been in so many classrooms, and this happens almost every time, especially the kids that struggle in the classrooms. Those kids are tied to their teachers. They have created such a bond with them that when that teacher leaves and someone else comes in their place, it is almost, it's so devastating for them, because they don't trust this person. They don't know this person. So if you're a sub, please understand that those kids that are acting out the worst, they're just saying they're scared, okay? Nonverbal communication is the way a lot of people communicate, and how they're behaving should tell you what's going on internally, okay? And that's not just kids. We're human beings, and that's what we do. If we can't speak to what's happening, or if we feel we can't say what we need to say, then we're going to start acting in ways that tell you something's wrong with me. Please check in. And with the room full of kids who are all dysregulated at the same time, that is a lot of energy, okay? So we had to have a lot of conversations today. We had to sit down in about 3 circles to talk through things that were going on. Some of the things directed at me, because I'm the bad person. What are you doing here? My teacher's not here because you're here. So, you know, substitute teaching is such a great job. I absolutely adore it, okay? But it is not for everybody, because you need to understand that these kids, you know, they're not going to treat you the same way they treat their teacher, because their teacher has built a relationship with them. Their teacher has gotten to know their little peccadillos and the things that they need to be comfortable and safe in a room. And they've developed that rapport with each other. So as a substitute, it doesn't matter how many years you've taught. It doesn't matter how much you know. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. They are not going to trust you because they don't know you. And so you have to spend, if you want that connection, if that's important to you, and for me it's mandatory, I'm going to try to form connection with these kids so that they know they can trust me, and they know I will keep them safe, because that's really what they want to know. And so, you know, being in a classroom with kids is like emotions on parade, and every single emotion, and at absolutely the wrong time to have them. So I've gotten really good at understanding that our children are showing what we are feeling. They don't know how to fix it. They are so scared and worried for you because something's going on with you and they don't know what it is. And because we keep things from our kids. And of course, that's important. Kids don't need to know everything. But I think in this world is changing, we need to adapt some things. And what I'm seeing in a classroom, in multiple classrooms, quite regularly, is that these kids are really struggling. They're struggling with their emotions. They're struggling with understanding things that are way bigger than they should understand, way bigger than adults understand. And so adults are also triggered and traumatized and struggling with mental and emotional. There is just a barrage of negativity trying to take away our peace. And I understand how difficult this is. I feel it too. It's been hard for me. It's why I have been so inconsistent. I struggle sometimes to be able to come on here and talk and not cry, okay? Because I'm feeling a lot of emotions too. We all are. This is a turning point for humanity. This is a time where we are given the opportunity, as every single other generation that's had to experience fascism and authoritarian, okay, I can't say it right now. You know what I mean. Every generation that has had to understand this has struggled to do the things that they really want to do and have struggled to make the changes before the really bad stuff starts happening. The bad stuff's already happening. And it's scary. And we're all scared. And it doesn't matter how hard we try to not think about it and not see it. We can feel it. We can see it. We can feel it on the people around us. Because we are human beings and we are energetically connected. So our littles, our kids are telling us they're scared and they don't know what to do. And they know their parents are scared too. So let's start being honest with each other, with ourselves first, always with ourselves. I will always say that. You have to do all this with yourself. Get really, really real with yourself, and then get real with your partner or the person in your life that shares, if they do. Or if it's just you and your kids, then get real with your kids at an appropriate level. You do not have to tell them everything. You do need to acknowledge that what they are feeling and seeing and picking up on other people, including their parents or their family members, is fear. And why are we afraid? And what are we doing about that fear? Okay? This is what we have to start learning how to do for ourselves first. This is why I've always been talking about doing your dark work. And what's the dark work? You have to get in there with the trauma that caused all the pain, that started this domino effect of you doing everything to keep things that are beneath you real and appropriate, because it's scary to change and grow. Okay? That's the work you have to do. You got to get in there and deal with who's that little kid in you? Where is that little kid in you? What age is that? And what do they need? Okay, I'm telling you, the kids in classrooms right now are portraying behavior that is showing they're afraid and they need to feel safe and secure, especially when they have their teacher leave for any amount of time. It dysregulates everybody in the classroom. So as a substitute teacher coming in to be a teacher to these kids, I have to meet them where they're at. Okay? And this is the mindset we have to have with everybody right now, because you do not know what other challenges people are going through. We have to really show empathy, and that is not a word of weakness. That is a word of power and strength. To have empathy for other people's pain is what makes us human. Okay? Now, it seems like I'm rambling, but I'm not, because I use the kids to get you to understand that I'm talking to you. If you're listening this far, then you've been feeling these things and you see these things, or you're a parent to a kid and you want to know what you're supposed to do because you're as scared as they are. And how do you not be scared? Well, you stay right now. And I mean right now, this very second, as we're talking. I want you to for a second think about what is so great in your life. What are you so grateful for? What are you grateful for? Are you watching me? You're on a camera, so you have a camera and a phone, and you can access other people on the internet. I hope you're breathing because you're here. Sometimes that's how simple we have to be grateful. I'm breathing, my eyes open. I had something to eat this morning. If you have eaten something this morning and you slept in a bed that was warm, you're richer than so many more people in this world. So we have a lot to be grateful for. And here's the thing, all of this fear that's going on around us, like clouds, that seems to just be another fireworks show of fear and authoritarianism and idiocy. All of that fear is doing something. It's trying to make us be afraid. That's the goal. This is not a game of, this is a game for our humanity. And they're playing to win the money, and we're playing to win ourselves. This is a very deep message that I'm sending out. And this is only for people who are ready to hear and understand what I'm saying. Our kids are in trouble, and we as adults have to figure out how we handle this. How are we going to do it? Are we going to be strong for our kids and for ourselves? Or are we just going to peace out because it's too hard? There's a quote that I always wrote on my board the first day of school, and it stayed up there for as long as I wanted it to, as long as I felt it needed to be seen. And that is, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. That's a pretty big statement, and every person can apply it to their lives in whatever way that works. But to get healthy and be healthy and stay healthy, it takes work. And that work is getting rid of the things that try to keep you in a place of negativity, in a place where fear can work, where you're willing to stay where you are and not be stronger because you need to stay where you are because it's safer. It's not safer. It's just something you know how to deal with. We have to help our kids. And one of the ways that we do that is we model how to take care of ourselves. We have to show them how to do it. And sometimes they have to show us. So, this is Dr. Bathy, Dr. B from Restorative Tutors. I have a podcast called The Answer is Trauma. That's on my Substack under Restorative Tutors. I hope you come by and see me. You're going to be okay. Take care of yourself.